Hey everyone, welcome to Chuck's Guitar Geekery. Today I'm looking at the Bugera G5 Infinium head. Now in my opinion, this is the best bedroom level amp I've ever had. That's 5 watts, it's switchable down to 1 watt and 0.1 watt. The 0.1 watt mode still sounds pretty good, and that's definitely bedroom level. And you still crank it to full volume and get tube saturation. Pretty simple, it's got 2 channels, it also has a morph knob that takes it, it's pretty much a mid EQ kind of sweep that takes it from UK to USA. Got a digital reverb, it's got an effects loop, it's got a headphone out, which the headphone out will work if it's in bypass mode, so you can use this for silent practice, although I would still have a speaker cap hooked up to it. Before we go any further, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. If you want to get a Guitar Geek shirt, knock your socks off, links down below for Zazzle to get your own. And if you feel so inclined, share this to your social media. I bet a bunch of your friends are bored. Why not entertain them with my dumb, scruffy looking mug, 40 days in quarantine here. But so tested, at the beginning you saw at a Esquire parts caster to show it with some single coils. Got this Firefly FF3H to show it with some humbuckers. And as with all of my amp demos, I'm running it through a load box, and I'm using an impulse response of a Celestion B-Type 112 speaker, and straight into my phone from there. So let's go through the sounds. I'm going to do the dirty channel, then the clean channel, and come back and I'll tell you more about the sample. Okay, so now that you've heard it, I just have to say again, this is probably my favorite bedroom level tube amp. As long as you have a good speaker cab or a decent speaker cab, this amp will cover most things you want to do. I mean, it definitely does best with that modern crunch sound, and even to some high gain territory. I wouldn't quite call it metal, but it gets pretty much ballpark of metal, I guess, if you have a hot enough output on your pickups. But I bought this as an open box not long after they came out, so I think 4 or 5 years ago at this point, and I got it for only 170 bucks. I forget how much they are new. I'll flash it across the screen here. Surprising thing is, I personally haven't gigged with it, but the second guitarist in my band, his big name brand expensive amp went kaputs for about a month, and he had to use this to gig with. This is the spare amp I had that had 2 channels for him, and this, a 112 cab with an efficient speaker. An efficient speaker is very important when it comes to those low wattage amps, but I think that was through that was an Eminence Tonker Light 1x12 he was going through, which is I think 102 or 101 decibel sensitivity, so it's a very efficient speaker. It gets very loud. So with 5 watts and an efficient speaker, it is loud enough to gig with, but we do mic them and we send it through the PA, but it was loud enough on stage that we don't have our amps coming through the monitors. So the amp is on stage for monitoring, you hear the amp, and then it comes out of the mains. So 5 watts, it was loud enough to do that with our drummer. Let's say the clean channel, it's nothing to write home about, but it does take pedals well. Like, it doesn't really have a strong characteristic one way or the other. It gets crunchy once you get to about 3/4 of the way up. Now, I didn't do the headphone out because, quite frankly, it's not that good. If it's all you have for practicing, yeah, it'll work, but I wouldn't show up to a recording studio with that. That's pretty much my answer to any headphone out on an amp. And the whole morph knob, I mean, quite frankly, 99% of the time I just leave it in the center. That's somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic, not UK or USA. Really, I think the thought is, on the USA side, kind of takes the lower mids out, like a Fender-ish amp, and on the UK side, kind of boosts those lower mids, like a Marshall-y type amp. And also, let's talk about longevity, because I know for a while Bugera had a bad reputation for their amps kind of going kaputs pretty quickly. This is one of the first ones that came out with that new Infinium technology, which Quite frankly, I don't know what it is, but supposedly it makes the tubes last longer. And honestly, I don't even remember right now, because it's not a typical power amp tube. I'll look it up in the literature and flash it across the screen here. And I've had this amp now, 4 or 5 years, and I put a lot of hours on this thing. I really haven't kept track of it, but a lot of hours, in 0.1 watt mode, cranked up, or even on stage cranked up in 5 watt mode. And tubes are still going strong. I actually bought a spare set anticipating the problems that Bugeras have, and I don't even know where those went, because these haven't gone bad yet, and I moved since I bought them, so where they went, I don't know. And lastly, the reverb. It's a digital reverb. It's definitely a plate style reverb. Not my favorite type of reverb. I'll have a little bit on, just, little ambiance in it. But beyond that, you're not using this to play a Dick Dale tribute band or do your best Beach Boys impersonation. Anyways, let me know what you think. I'll have affiliate links below for Reverb, Amazon, and eBay if you want to pick up one of your own one of those places and then help support this channel while you're at it. Doesn't cost you an extra penny. Follow me on all my social media at the links below, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, and until next time, cheers.